Okay, I'm back. Man. I'm always more hesitant to switch to indirect when I'm dealing with a rock like this. Because I want the accuracy of indirect, but the indirect, you know, is a faster, shockier, more aggressive force usually than direct. And so really, hard rock sometimes doesn't like indirect as much. As slower force. See, I knew I had that tinge there. I was just doing little blenders to try and clean this edge up a little. So we're going to try and do a fairly good flake right here all along that. And I wasn't worried about, you know, trying to go uphill over here. I'm just trying to get it close to that side. The relative danger of hitting on the ends has a whole lot to do with technique. You can hit on the end pretty hard if you have good support. If you're not, you don't want to do it on a real long thing. There's this weird phenomenon, you know, and you probably have heard of end snap. But there's another weird phenomenon that on really long stuff, you ever seen that little clacker ball thing where there's like 5 balls and you pull one back and let it go, and when it hits, everything stays still except the one at the opposite end flies off? I've seen the ends of work do that when you hit on the other end. It just launches the opposite end. And I guess it's some sort of transfer of power down the line until it gets to the other end. All right. I just don't like to quit on rocks. You know, you could say, well, I ought to put this down and heat it or something like that. Well, I know, but... Okay, so we got that. Now we don't got that. Man, there is some crap in the middle there. I had that end stuck in my leg there. Hopefully you saw that. So this is fairly flat. This is not. Wow. Need a little short thing right there. Careful, careful, careful. It's getting thinner, and the thinner it gets, the more dangerous that is. One of the things, and I shouldn't say anything about accuracy right now, considering how I'm napping this afternoon, but one of the things I do to enhance accuracy is I try and use a relatively short swing where I'm got my elbow kind of on my leg and I'm swinging relatively short. And in order to do that and still get power, what I do sometimes is I act almost like I act as I'm swinging like I suddenly realize I need to swing hard. And what I'm doing is as I'm swinging, when I get close, I accelerate it. But with this kind of material, what usually happens is as it gets smaller and lighter, you start having all kinds of issues. You're getting the worse material the further inward you go. You're getting smaller and lighter, so you don't have much power. I've got too much weight on this end. There's a bump right there. So I need to, I guess we could try a couple of indirect hits and see how it responds. I'm just not super optimistic. Really, I need to turn that all up around the other way. Well, go ahead and hit it a couple of times, see what happens. Another reason I don't really like using indirect on this tough stuff is you have to deburr your bed about every second hit or something on this crap. Well, I need to turn all these edges. I got out my new little edge turner because the other one was getting too light and too flat on the end. And I can grind the end and not being flat, but it lost too much metal over the time I've been using it. So I'm retiring it. You might wonder why I'm being so haphazard of this. I really am nowhere close to having this finished, so I'm not really trying to be all that careful with my beveling. Okay, now strategy-wise, when you got this sort of rock, this sort of situation, don't be shooting long range at anything if you don't have to. Go ahead and risk it, come in close, and hope that you take care of business. Because, you know, either one's a calculated risk, but you're just more likely to get a decent result if you're close to your issues. You ain't gonna make no Sweetwater biface out of a rock like this. This really is kind of a cool rock, you know, to take down to your local landfill or something and toss in there alongside the road and see if somebody calls the newspaper to do a story about it. I guess that would be fake news though, wouldn't it? I'm boring you, aren't I? Man, this is a bad rock. I don't think I probably could have grabbed a worse one. I mean, I got some bad stuff out there in the pile, but this is definitely right on up there with them. Good thing about it is, you know, if you got a knife fight with this, you wouldn't have to just nick somebody and you can run away and wait, and then gangrene would probably get them or something. Some kind of tetanus or something, I don't know. Well, this rock sure is still heavy and dense and everything. I think I've got issues, y'all. I think I got some issues. Okay, I would like to get these hinges off right here. I need to be more careful to make up for the fact that I can't do as much. I need to work from the ends and smooth things as I go. Yeah, that stunk. I'm missing. Raising it. Need to try and not really support with the leather much on this, because I need to try and let's have things come off to have any hope of cleanness. But that is kind of scary because, you know, you kind of like, you do want to sort of keep your legs. I'm skipping that and coming down here and shooting. Burr. Go back.